Alright, is this thing on? Okay. Yeah, it seems to be functioning decently. Let's see how decently functioning I am. I'm just going to read off a little bit of what I've got here and on some of the notes that I took regarding a few scenes in Hunter x Hunter, episode 4. So brief description here, guys. This is fairly early on in the anime where all of our main characters are facing the Hunter exam together. This is also a great way to give us insights into each character's motivations, personalities, and insights into their own ways of thinking. The scene between Kurapika and Leorio takes place during their entrance exam, which is one trial and is essentially a glorified marathon, as the background is fairly static and uninteresting, which then forces us to really lean into the characters and ascertain a better understanding of who they are. They are given the tasks of running an unspecified amount of time. So, as I said, a glorified marathon. The best way to make this more interesting is to give us dialogue and discussion between the characters if there isn't effective action in the scene. And what we are given is a great discussion between two characters, essentially peers, Kurapika and Leorio. And they discuss each of their own motivations and reasonings for becoming a hunter and their own reasons for entering into this hunter exam. Kurapika's impression of Leorio is twofold. He expects that Leorio must have more to his own motivations to become a hunter than the seemingly superficial reason that becoming a hunter is financially beneficial. As is revealed in the course of their dialogue, we learn that both character motivations are driven by negative histories, and that through different outcomes of becoming a hunter, they will be able to improve their own lives in the future, obviously. I feel it interesting that the show gives Leorio a potential backstory of wanting to become a doctor, something which is generally considered a noble and honorable and perhaps even heroic profession, only to have that dream unavailable for very realistic reasons. Becoming a doctor is not only lamentably difficult for anyone, but nearly impossible without a significant financial resources. Honestly, if you were to replace the goal of becoming a hunter with the goal of becoming a doctor in this scene, you'd arrive at more or less the same conclusion. Please bear with me. Becoming a hunter slash doctor means financial success, which in Leorio's case means he would have enough money to buy power, influence, and by extension, the ability to save others' lives, even if not directly himself. Kurapika's motivations are more clear-cut, at least as he identifies them, specifically as vengeance for his tribe. Vengeance is, let's be honest, a very difficult topic. As a motivation, it's generally suited better for works of fiction where the audience is allowed to make their own interpretations, where a character is challenged by the pros and cons, the consequences both positive and negative as they pursue a course of vengeance.
Rise?
They plucked the eyes from each of my brethren's corpses. Not a single one escaped desecration. Even now, I can hear them. The anguished screams of their darkened eyes. I swear on my life that I will capture the Phantom Troop. Once I do, I'll avenge my clan by taking back their eyes.
That's why you want to be a hunter?
That's right. If I become a contract hunter with wealthy clientele, I'll have access to black market information.
But you'll have to be the kind of hunter you hate! You think you'll be able to swallow your pride when you need to?
The blow to my pride is nothing. Not when compared to my clan's suffering.
Although Kurapika is one of the show's main protagonists, this does not mean that their motivations are good nor pure. In this case, it is for the audience themselves to decide. We are provided with a sad backstory for Kurapika with the murder of his family and clan. This is obviously meant to engender sympathy for the character, but more importantly, it serves to create sympathy or at least rationalize the motivations or such as murder and harmful actions, things which are generally considered by society to be, well, kind of a negative thing. Then take Kurapika's peer and friend in the exam, Leorio. In their dialogue and discussion, he acknowledges that Kurapika's reasons for becoming a hunter are overall harmful and dangerous, especially to Kurapika himself. Quote, "But you'd have to become the kind of hunter you hate. Do you think you'd be able to swallow your pride if you need to?" End quote. Leorio recognized the dangers of Kurapika's motives, a crucial and fundamental one often associated with revenge, that is, ultimately losing oneself in the act of vengeance and letting it overtake you as a person, and even your humanity. Although this is questioned, Kurapika is not challenged further on this, as he retorts that it is not about himself, and stresses that it is about others. Then, if you refer back to my theoretical example of exchanging the hunter goal to that of becoming a doctor, somewhat analogy, one can, and is certainly expected to, as a doctor, obtain and demonstrate superior knowledge of medicine when becoming a doctor or otherwise obtaining a medical degree. For Kurapika, this is the equivalent of someone finishing med school only to take their knowledge of how the human body functions and survives to hypothetically kill, torture without ending vital life functions, or incapacitate others. As much as one can learn to help, it is inherent that they will also gain an understanding of how to harm.
Operation cost a fortune. I was naive. I figured I could become a doctor, so I could cure kids with the same disease, and tell their parents they owed me nothing, that it was free of charge. That was my dream. Pretty good joke, right? Turns out to become a doctor, you already have to have an obscene amount of money! Get it now? The whole world runs on money, so I'm gonna get as much as I can!